Hey everyone, it's Edwin, and last week I posted a video interviewing a friend of mine, Karim Abridged, allowing him to sort of give his perspective and side of the story towards the accusations that Dodie made against him back in 2014. If you've yet to see the interview video, I highly recommend watching it as it is important to have full context. Now, the objective of the interview was not to make Dodie look bad or to make Karim seem like some angel, but rather to show that things aren't black and white and everyone deserves a voice. Since the video went live, Dodie actually reached out to me and we ended up speaking over FaceTime for quite a while. It was a very insightful call. She actually even sent me a clip for me to show you guys, but before I show you, I want to just give mad respect to Dodie because she was very kind throughout the call and very understanding as to why I did the interview and why I do what I do.
Hello. So that video that I made in 2015 was around the time that like a lot of videos and tweets were coming out about people in the YouTube community who were sexual abusers, who were mostly using their platform to kind of like attract young girls and like use their power to influence them and like just basically talk to them inappropriately. Around that time there were some girls who had come forward and shared some screenshots of inappropriate conversations between Karim and them. They were underage and they were fans. So I opened the video saying like giving a trigger warning because around that time like giving a trigger warning was like newly important and people would get very angry in the comments if you didn't warn them of the potential triggers in the video. So to cover my ground I said trigger warning rape, trigger warning sexual abuse, because I was touching on a variety of issues. Now looking back, especially in Edwin's video where it kind of cuts in between that and Karim's interview, it looks like I'm using that word to describe Karim, which I'm sorry for because as far as I know, Karim is not a rapist. He didn't rape anyone. He definitely was inappropriate to some young girls online. And the video I made was to bring light to that, attention to that, and to get him out of the community because I believe he didn't deserve to be there, and I think a lot of people thought that as well. I don't think he deserved his platform. And I spoke about my experiences of him as a bit of a creep, to kind of like, yeah, get him out. I wasn't as big as I was back then, so it was just kind of me adding to the discussion. I'm not sure if I would have done that now. I definitely wouldn't have spoken in that tone. I don't really like who I was back then. I think I was very loud. I was a very angry, outspoken human being. Do I believe it's possible and okay to forgive and have empathy for a guy who at the time was 19, had maybe an odd upbringing and some problems at home, and there's no rule book on YouTube and having an audience, and you know, was getting a lot of attention online from young girls? Do I believe it's possible to have empathy and forgive someone who made those mistakes of talking inappropriately to young girls? Yes, I do think that. Do I forgive him? I'm not gonna. Do I think he deserved an audience through that? No. I do think his video making should have been shut down. I don't think he should have been allowed to have a young audience while learning that you shouldn't use your power to flirt with them because they're young and they're easily influenced.
Something that I thought was worth mentioning from me and Dodie's call was that when the screenshot surfaced of Karim asking for nudes, she was encouraged by her friends to make a video of her experience to help banish Karim from the community. Which begs the question that many were asking, why didn't I include this part of Dodie's video in my interview?
My friend Bri showed me a letter. In the letter, these girls expressed concern for their friend because a YouTuber called, or is he a YouTuber? A person called Karim had been pressuring one of their friends for nude photos. Karim was 19 at the time, the girl was 14.
I wanted the focus of the interview to be regarding Dodie's personal accusations against Karim, and especially because I couldn't find the screenshots that Dodie was referring to and she didn't put them in her video. I didn't want the interview to come off like super biased, because Karim could have easily shut it down by saying whatever he wanted to say, and there was no examples for me to show. The fact that I conducted the interview, a friend of Karim's, was already gonna have a natural bias no matter what, you know what I mean? So I don't think it would have done it justice if I just asked him about the allegations about the scandal and didn't have anything to show for proof on the screen, you know what I mean? So now that I've looked more into it, I hope that I can do it justice, because they are serious allegations and I have looked a lot more into them, so let's just get into it. A quick disclaimer, I want to be 100% clear that I do not condone, nor do I think the nature of these conversations that I'm going to be displaying is okay at all. I simply want to get the facts straight, because the allegations against Karim have been snowballing into mislabeling him things that can be and have been life damaging. We're going to be going over the screenshots, and I'm going to have Karim speak for himself, and after that I'll give my own thoughts on the whole situation. When looking into this, I used a website called The Master Post, which archived a bunch of links with accusations against YouTubers back in 2014 when everybody was getting called out. There were 3 allegations total, one from Abby of Karim asking her for nudes, a girl named Courtney who says she used to have flirty and inappropriate conversations with Karim when she was 15, and there's another link from a girl that just wrote about her experiences with Karim. Since the links were broken, I tried to reach out to the original usernames that made the claims. However, I was only able to get in touch with one girl, who was actually Abby, the one that Dodie referred to in her own video saying that Karim asked her for nudes. However, after I posted my video, another girl actually came forward and said that she also had some inappropriate conversations with Karim. She tweeted me saying, "Exchanges with Karim I had when I was 14 and proof he knew my age and was still sexually suggestive. I'm not accusing him of anything, I just want this out there." The first screenshot shows Karim saying, "Your boobs are 20 out of 10. There, now you can have it in DM form so you can easily find it." Ugh, friggin' yikes, man. So I asked Karim about this, and then he sent me a Twitter thread which shows him saying that he wants to tweet people, and then the girl says, "Love you, Karim, miss you." She shares a picture she had with Karim, and by the way, the girl asked to stay anonymous, so we're just gonna call her Ashley. Ashley's not her actual name. Or is it? No, it's not. So Kels, a different girl, joins in and says boobs. Then Ashley says, "Kels gay," and then Kels says, "Kels gay loves your boobs." And Karim just says boobs. Then Kels says, "Do you like Ashley's boobs in the picture? This is for science." Karim says, "I feel uncomfortable." Ashley says, "Same." Kels says, "It's okay, we're all friends here." Karim says, "Ashley, help. I don't even know how old you guys are and I feel unsafe." Blows whistle, time out. Kels says, "OMG, I'm sorry, I was just kidding." Karim says, "How old are you?" Kels says, 16. Karim says, "Okay, I feel less uncomfortable." Kels says, "I'm sorry, dude. It was a joke. I didn't think you would reply. Forgive me." Karim says, "No, boobs are great. 10 out of 10. Then Ashley says, "To be honest, I find that really offensive. My boobs are at least an 11 out of 10. To which Karim says, "I'm sorry. I agree. Maybe even a 20. To which Ashley says, "I want this written and signed in permanent ink so I know it's true." And that's when Karim sent her that DM on Twitter, to which Ashley says, "Thanks for confirming it in DM, I will treasure it." And below that message, we see Karim saying, "You're always good enough for me," to which Karim told me that was in context to Ashley tweeting, "Not good enough." A few days later, we see Karim saying, "How old are you, by the way?" And Ashley says she's 14, and later on, he says, "I want to hug you till you're happy. Your sister can join too because it'll be awkward with her if she was just standing there." Ashley's last screenshot showed Karim saying, "I had a dream I cuddled you to sleep. I know you're a twin, and I'm 100% sure it was you. Trust me here, okay?" Cringe to the max. Alright, now moving on to the next one. First, I want to start by saying that some people in my previous video were commenting that Karim was pressuring underage girls to send him nudes, and this is still an allegation that is being actively spearheaded by Evan Edinger, who was also on the Amsterdam trip. Now, I researched to the best of my ability, and I could not find anyone even claim that they ever sent Karim any nudes. The only person that I got in contact with, which was Abby, the girl that Dodie was talking about in her video, and she told me that she did not send him any nudes ever. Now, she's the one that posted the screenshots where you can see Karim asking for nudes. She was 15 at the time, and as you can see, Karim was saying, "Send nudes XOXO." And in the Snapchat conversation, he says, "I asked for nudes," and Abby says they would probably get leaked again, to which he says, "I don't go to your school." Abby verified to me that both these screenshots were from her, one from Facebook and one from Snapchat, but they were both exchanges with Karim. I sent her a link to the interview, and she said that it was very well executed, and she said she was reading the tweets from my video that people were sending me back and forth with all like, "Hey, why don't you cover this? Why blah blah blah?" And she said that she thought that it could be worth telling people that I was in touch with her, and she doesn't mind confirming that it was a general miscommunication and it spiraled into all this. She told me her friends knew the way she was talking to Karim and they thought that it's not right, is it? So she emailed Dodie, who passed her on to Luke, who thought that she should post it. I asked her if at any point she had told him that she was 15 because he claimed to me that he didn't know her age. To which she says, yeah, I generally can't remember, but in fairness, I act and look a lot older and I always have, so I wouldn't say it's as if at the time you could tell because honestly, you still can't. I think it's also worth noting that before you reached out, I wanted to reach out to Karim to talk things over since I felt sour about it all. Okay, now let's see what Karim has to say about all this.
I didn't really understand my position of power at the time. I was very inappropriate with the way that I was speaking to some people. I was just comfortable in the way that I was speaking because I saw everyone as equals. I didn't really see them as any different to me, like we're all just people on the internet, right? Which was dumb of me. I felt extremely special to be like surrounded by caring people and people who always wanted to talk to me and just always wanted to hear what I had to say. And because they made me feel special and they made me feel happy, I wanted to do the same for them. Although I understand now that the way that I went around it wasn't the right way to go about it. I've apologized to some of the people who I have interacted with in the past. I've also reached out to a bunch of friends from that time period and talked about how things went down. And if there's anyone who feels like I've wronged them or has any sort of like bad vibes with me and stuff, I would like to talk about things. I'm open to do so because, you know, I'm just a person on the internet. The mistakes that I made were stupid and immature, and I had a lot of growing to do in the past. And lastly, I'm also making this video just to clear my name and to have people not attack my friends just because I'm friends with them. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for now. If need be, I'll say more.
Okay, so it's my turn to give my 2 cents on this whole situation, and before I get into it, I just want to straight up say thank you to everyone that's been super supportive and seen my efforts, because it did hurt when people said that I conveniently left stuff out, but I mean, I just like to assume that those aren't like real supporters of mine, and maybe they just kind of found my video by chance, because like I do my best, and it just kind of like, you know, hurt a little bit, especially because this is such a heavy and like stressful like videos to do, because I don't want anything wrong to go with Karim or Dodie. I genuinely think they're both good people, you know what I mean? And with Karim, no doubt that he was very creepy and definitely abused his power. I definitely think he deserved to be checked. Now, do I think he deserved to be checked as hard as he did? I don't know about all that. Like I can see how everything snowballed and all these accusations have like just gotten so bad, you know. He was definitely inappropriate. He obviously spoke to his fans and didn't even bother to ask their age. That's so irresponsible, you know what I mean? But like, did he deserve to be banished the way he was? I'm surprised that none of his friends actually try to get his side or like slap some sense into him, you know? Because if I could go back in time, I would literally just punch him in the face and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Luke Cupforth, Karim's best friend at the time, instead of confronting Karim and slapping him across the face like, what are you doing, mate? Like, why are you messaging this girl like that? You know, instead of giving him that chance, he told the girl to post the screenshots on Twitter, and that's how Karim found out. Now on to Dodie. I do not blame her for wanting to make a video to bring awareness to a YouTuber that essentially did abuse his power. As someone who does these kinds of videos, I completely understand. However, the way she went about it was a little bit sloppy. I mean, she started off the video saying trigger warning, and then the R word, you know? Karim's name is in the title. The video had over 780,000 views when I last saw it. And the reason why she said the R word in the first place was because she talked about somebody else that was accused of it. But she didn't talk about it until 8 minutes into the video. So it's a little sketchy, and also there was some misinformation, like she said that the girl was 14 and that she did send Karim nudes, which is not true. That was never even like a thing that anybody ever said. So I think that it was a little bit sloppy in those aspects, and I told Dodie, and she was very understanding of her faults, and she very much emphasized that she's changed since 4 years ago and she's grown, and she would definitely go about the video much differently if she had to make it today, you know. And I can respect that because people do change. I mean, actually, after the video went up with Karim, the interview, Luke texted Karim for the first time in over 4 years, and in the text, Luke mentioned that people shamed him, like other YouTubers shamed Luke for not publicly saying, like on social media, saying bad things about Karim. I think that alone speaks volumes about how badly people wanted to demonize Karim. I think that he's definitely learned his lesson. I mean, I don't think he's a pedophile. I think that's such an intense claim, and I feel like Evan is still trying to pin him down, and if he really believes that, and if he has proof that he has been sending pictures, as he said, or that he even received pictures from underage girls, why isn't Evan doing the most to get the police involved? Because those claims are really messed up. You know what I mean? Like if I knew or even heard that happened, I would not be doing these videos, and I don't know how else to say it, but that's some serious stuff. It's not an accusation that should be taken lightly, and it's not an accusation you just be throwing around. You know what I mean? So that's just my ramble. Basically, I don't think it's so intense that you should be just clawing this guy for ages and ages, you know? Like, I just displayed all his dirty laundry. I think everyone is free to judge. Not everyone needs to forgive him or act like he's a saint, because he most definitely isn't. You know, I'm not trying to go easy just because he's my friend. Like, I understand that was very creepy and very wrong. Okay. Sorry for getting so intense, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, just please give me a thumbs up. And yeah, also just before I really cut it off the video, I just want to say that me and Karim didn't have some like epic comeback for his channel, you know? We didn't organize some weird thing where he would upload a bunch of videos or anything like that. So to people saying that we conveniently waited till Dodie got famous, like I don't even keep up with Dodie. I didn't even realize anyways, whatever. Now I'm just, thanks for watching.